Serious pollution incidents by water companies in England rose by 60% last year. And that's according to data from the Environment Agency, which said it found consistently poor performance across all 9 firms in the country. Well, last year, a total of 75 Category 1 and 2 incidents were recorded. That is up from 47 in 2023. The report comes as MPs are calling for the regulation of water firms to face a complete overhaul over lack of trust and rising bills. With me now is Lora Jones to talk a little bit more about this. Laura, just talk us through some of the details in the report.
So the new data that we're talking about today refers to what are described as the most serious water pollution incidents. And the Environment Agency, which is a government agency, describes these as having a serious or persistent impact on the environment. But then there are also secondary impacts, so on aquatic life or even potentially a risk to human health. And just to recap on some of those headline numbers, out of nearly 3,000 incidents where untreated sewage entered into waterways in England last year, 75 of those were these most serious types of incidents, and they could potentially pose harm to fisheries, to drinking water, or even our health. And 81% of those 75 were caused by just 3 companies. So they include Thames Water, Southern Water and Yorkshire Water as well. We went to each of them this morning to ask for a response to the new findings. Thames Water said that last year was a bit of a tricky year for them, a challenging year. That was because of issues across its sewer network that had been affected by high rainfall, but also blockages that it had seen. But it said that it had seen progress on some of these issues. They've tried to address a lot of the underlying causes, and we've not heard back from Southern Water or Yorkshire Water just yet.
All right, well, listen, that overall figure is 60% rise last year. The Environment Agency you mentioned there, they've also come under fire, haven't they?
It has faced a lot of criticism in the last few weeks, the last few months, and that really centres on a range of things. Action that it's allegedly not taken to deter companies from failing to act or potentially even acting unlawfully in some cases, and also failing to maintain that infrastructure that we all rely on day to day. But this morning, the Water Minister, Emma Hardy, came out. She said that the government is plugging more cash in order to upgrade these systems and into the agency itself so it can carry out its work more effectively.
It is clear that regulation isn't working effectively, but we've put in those building blocks to try and change things. When we came into government, we introduced the Water Special Measures Act, which has banned unfair bonuses. So some of those polluting water buses have not been getting bonuses this time because of the levels of pollution that we've seen. But we've also managed to get £104 billion of investment into the sector, because fundamentally, if we want to stop pollution, we need to invest in improving the infrastructure, which has been left to just fall apart over the last 14 years.
All right, Laura, so what next?
Well, so today we also had a report from the Public Accounts Committee of MPs. They were looking at the water system as a whole, and it suggested that hikes in customer bills were now required to update and maintain in the future these networks that are so essential to all of us. And it actually called on the government to act with urgency to restore the public trust as well, which has been quite badly dented amongst all of these reports of leakages and pollution incidents. But next week will be the really key one. We're expecting a landmark review. That's from the Independent Water Commission. Their chair said last month they didn't expect one single fix could be expected to deliver the reset that's needed to this crucial sector.
Right, Laura, thank you very much.